Hello again, welcome back to Hangar 51. Today I'm going to show you how, if you're a Spectrum guy and you like the bind and fly products from Horizon Hobbies, which personally I love. I'm not a Spectrum guy, don't care for the Spectrum protocol, but I was getting shot down at the old field I was flying in. I'm not having any problem with the new field, but I still like their product. It's a great value. When you can buy a plane that's plug and play. Actually, it's bind and fly if it's got the Spectrum receiver in it. You buy it, you take it out of the box, you assemble it quickly, you bind it to your radio, and you go fly. It's a wonderful product. I really, really like that product. I'm currently flying about 55 airplanes, and at least a third of those are the bind and fly products from Horizon. So, but there's no telemetry. So, I really like my telemetry. Well, today I'm going to show you how, if you've got a Taranis Plus, if you've got a Taranis Plus and you're flying the bind and fly products from Horizon, and you already have the module, okay, I'm going to show you how to add telemetry to your plane for 30 bucks. Yeah, you heard that right. $30. You can actually put the telemetry, the battery telemetry, in your bind and fly product from Horizon Hobby and use it with your Taranis radio and get the audible warnings, updates, telling you what your battery voltages are, it's time to land, all of that. You get all of that for 30 bucks. And I'm going to show you how to do it. So stick around. Okay, so I said you can put telemetry in any of your bind and fly products for 30 bucks. Well, that may be slightly off. It depends on where you're buying your stuff. I just went and checked Aloft Hobbies. That's where I've been buying my stuff there and a few other places. But most of the time I buy from Aloft when it's my FrSky stuff. The little battery module is $14.40. And then you can buy, not this receiver, but all you need is a receiver. You're not hooking anything up to it other than the telemetry. So it doesn't matter how many flight control surfaces it has or what kind of plugs it uses or if it's PPM or not. None of that matters. It's not important. All you want is a receiver that has telemetry. And you can get a receiver for $19.50, I think, that has telemetry. Because that's all you're going to use it for is the telemetry. So that's 34 bucks. 19 and 14 and change. So it's 34 bucks. Now you can get it cheaper. I think Banggood has it cheaper sometimes, the module and the receiver. So, but it's in the $30 range, And then if you wanted to do this one here, I think this is a $27. It just went up. It's either 23 or 27 now. But if it's at 23, then you're looking at like $41 to have a 6-channel receiver. And the only reason I bring that up is because then the receiver is usable when you're not using it for the telemetry in your bind and fly product. You could throw it in an airplane and fly with it. So keep that in mind too, that it could be dual purpose. But basically what you're going to do is you're going to buy a receiver and the battery module, and those two components you're going to put in whatever bind and fly product. When you go to put the battery in, you just put this in. All it requires is a pigtail coming off the receiver that you're flying with. A male-to-male pigtail. And, as long as you want, leave it in the plane so that when you open the battery hatch, that pigtail is sitting there. And all you have to do is plug that pigtail into any one of the contacts on the receiver. It doesn't matter which one, because you just want to power it. You just got to get power to the receiver. So it doesn't matter which plug, if you put it in channel 1 or 6, it doesn't matter. You just plug it in, it powers up the receiver, and the receiver will send the telemetry. That's all you need it for. So you have that little pigtail sitting in there that's in your receiver. If you don't have an extra channel on your receiver, all you need to do is get a Y connector, okay, on your rudder or whatever, and then you put an extension harness on the Y to bring it to the battery bay, okay? And then all you do is, like I said, you only have to buy one. You don't have to buy it for every airplane. you're just going to remember to take this with you when you take the battery, and you put it in whatever plane you're going to fly. And you take the plug, you plug it into this receiver, your little 4-channel $19 receiver. You plug it into whatever channel it doesn't matter, and you just want power to this. And then you plug this into your battery, okay? And I recommend, listen, they sell a couple of different ones of these. This is the most expensive one because it has a screen on it, okay? And I'm going to show you the screen here. Okay, so the screen here, across the top, it says 3S, 11.44 volts. And then down the side here, it's giving you each individual battery voltage. Now this could be do you have a battery tester? If you don't, you do now. You can just use this as a standalone battery tester as well. It works just as good without being plugged into the radio. Nothing's powered up. You could, this plug doesn't have to be on, and it's a battery tester. So that's usable for that. Okay, then you put the plug into it for the telemetry. Okay, and then you plug this in, turn the radio on. Now I'm going to show you. This is set for my Cessna 150, the giant 150 that Horizon sells, the E-flite Carbon Z 2.1 millimeter. 2.1 meter Cessna 150. You can see I'm flying on the Spektum. There's the lights on in the bay, okay? But I also have the FrSky on. So here, I press the button for telemetry, and it says cells, and cells are 0. Okay? There's no telemetry. I'm not getting any telemetry there at all. I'm not getting a receiver, no data, no receiver, RSSI signal strength, nothing, because it doesn't fly on that. It's flying on this. Now I'm going to plug in this external receiver.
0 volts, 0 volts.
Okay, so
Telemetry lost. Telemetry recovered.
So it found telemetry. Now I've got telemetry data, and now I have cell voltages. Okay. So I've got my 11.4 volts, and the single cell is 3.8, the lowest cell in the pack. So now I have my battery telemetry to the radio, and now it's going to verbally notify me that it's time to land, because I have it set up for a 6-cell pack, and this is only 3 cells, so my pack voltage is not high enough. So she should be notifying me any second here that that I need to think about landing.
45 dB.
No, that was just a... Maybe I don't have the verbal set up, and I'll do that. It's pretty simple. Thought I had it on, but maybe I turned it off. Oh, okay. I didn't have it set for 6-cell. So let me just change the voltage to something that activates the switch.
11.4 volts.
And let's go up here. And we'll activate this one too.
3.8 volts.
Okay. So what I did is I just upped the voltages so that
11.4 volts.
the pack voltage is lower than 11.8, I think I set it at. And the single cell I set at 3.87.
3.8 volts.
So now I'm getting both notifications. I'm getting my single cell notification, and I'm getting my pack voltage notification.
11.4 volts.
Okay. Now, I'm going to do a quick shout out to 2 people on YouTube here. 2 guys I really enjoy their show. If you haven't watched their show, you need to watch their show.
3.8 volts.
Let me turn this down for a second. Rich Baker, RC Informer, and the RC Geek, Chris Wolf. 2 great shows. Guys, go check their shows out. I really enjoy their shows. Both of them have had issues that... well, Rich hasn't had an issue. Rich uses telemetry, but he uses a telemetry that he hooks onto his antenna. And it's a little screen that's giving him this information. Over here on the side, I'm getting my voltages, okay? And they're flashing because I'm below the threshold. So they're flashing, and it's trying to tell me verbally. Now, he doesn't like a radio that talks. Rich, I know you don't like a radio that talks, but, you know, you might like a radio that talks when you can tell it how you want it to talk. Because you can set this up to notify you as often as you want, as least as you want. You can control the volume with the knob. So if it's too loud, you can turn it down. You can turn it all the way up so that it's you know,
3.8 volts.
so it drives everybody nuts. Or you can turn it down, but you can have it notify you as often as you want.
11.8
You can set up whatever sound you want it to make. You know, you can have it a submarine diving. You can have the little siren that I have. You can just have it beep. You don't even have to tell you have it tell you the voltage if you don't want. You can just have it beep at you so you know it's time to land. It's so versatile. You can set it up so many ways. The important thing is that with the audible notification, you never have to look away from your airplane. And you've got that thing strapped to your antenna. Well, you have to look away to look at it to know what your voltages are. And you know as well as I do that's a bad idea. So I think you'd like this, you know, just because you have such control over how it notifies you, how loud it notifies you, the sound it makes when it notifies you. You have complete control over whatever. You can have any voice. You can have your own voice. You can have your wife's voice. You can have your daughter's voice notify you as often as you want, and then you can set the volume to whatever volume you want. You can just have a sound. You can have it beep. You can have it do a phone ringing. You know, whatever you want. Whatever sound, whatever verbal, you have complete control how it works. So I think you'd like this. I really do. I think you should try it out. If you want to try it firsthand, let me know. I'll meet you over in Orlando. I'll let you fly one of my planes. I'll set the radio up however you want it. You can fly the plane, and I'll let the radio tell you, just so you can try it out. I'd be happy to do that for you. We live close enough together that I'd be happy to come over and give you a real demo. So, but I think you'd like it. Now, Chris, you crashed your A4 because you put a dead battery in it. We've all done it. Don't feel bad. We've all done it, and thank you for sharing that. If you'd have had this in your radio, you wouldn't have crashed your plane. You know, because as soon as you went to throttle up, it would have immediately started notifying you that the pack voltage is too low or the single cell voltage is too low, and you would have not flown the plane. So you wouldn't have crashed it. It would have saved your airplane. Now, this radio will work with every one of your Spectrum products, and this radio is way cheaper than anything you're flying with. You know, I saw you were flying with a DX18. Listen, you can buy this radio for $189 and then add $40 more to get the telemetry just to put in the plane. You will have to buy the module. Now, there's several ways to buy this module. There's Hobby King sells one that's like $40. This one was $109, but it does come with a Spectrum receiver. You can actually build your own. There's a video out here on YouTube on how to build a DSMX using this case, but it's an empty case. You buy the case, you buy the components to put in the case, you build your own DSMX. You can do it cheaper than the $109 that I paid for that. But you got $189 plus $109 plus $40. And that's still cheaper than anything you can do in Spectrum, as far as I know. If I'm wrong, and if any of you guys know of a cheaper way to do it in Spectrum, let me know. But from what I've been checking on and that friends have told me, by the time you buy the telemetry receiver, the hub, and the sensor, it's several $100s just to add telemetry to your already Spectrum radio. Whereas you can do it all, you can buy the radio and everything you need cheaper this way, and then it's only $40 per plane, or $40 once. If you want to move this from plane to plane, you can. You know, you don't have to leave it in the plane, but for $40, you probably want to leave it in the plane. But if you don't want to leave it in the plane, you only have to buy it once, and then you just plug it into every plane you're going to fly, and it's simple. It works perfectly. So something to consider. You know, Rich, like I said, I think if you had control of the way it notifies you and how loud it notifies you and the sound it makes or the voice it has, I think you'd enjoy that. I think you'd like it, and then you wouldn't have to look away to look at your little telemetry screen. And Chris, you wouldn't have crashed your airplane. You know, it doesn't get any easier than this, and it doesn't get any cheaper than this. You know, to add $40, you know, 16-channel radio gives you everything you know for flying, everything you want to do, and then the telemetry is just, you know, it's why I bought the radio, and I really think you two guys would enjoy it. And the rest of you, if you're thinking about it, listen, I'm not telling you not to buy a Spektrum radio. You want to buy the BNF products. I buy the BNF products. I have a bunch of them. But when I fly in with this radio, I can still have my battery telemetry for as little as $40 more, and have that confidence that I'm not going to put the wrong battery in it or fly it too far that the battery's going to die and I'm not going to get back to the runway. You know, I'm not going to wait for the speed control to start shutting down to warn me that I'm out of battery. I'll know way ahead of time that, you know, because she's going to tell me that I'm out of battery. And it doesn't have to be a woman's voice. It can be your own voice.
3.8 volts.
But you can add your own voice to the radio and then have your own voice notify you.
11.4 volts.
So, something to consider. I think you guys would like it. You know, all you guys that are flying Spektrum, you know, here's an option to keep flying your BNF products with a really good transmitter and with a great telemetry system for very little money. So that's what I've got. I've done other videos on how to set the telemetry up. So I wasn't going to do it again because I was trying to keep this a little shorter because I talk too much. I know. So just go look at my telemetry setup, and it'll show you what to do in the screens to have it verbally notify you. But that's all it's going to take, guys. You just have to buy a receiver, any one of the receivers, and they're as cheap as $19, and that's all you need. It's a 3-channel receiver. It's a little tiny thing the size of a dime, but it has the smart port. So you plug the battery telemetry module into the smart port, and all you have to do is power the receiver on. You don't need it to be plugged into any of the controls because you're not flying with it. You're only using it for the telemetry. So that's how easy it is. Just turn the thing back on in the bay, turn on plug in your receiver, plug in your battery module into the battery. You get the display on the battery module, and you get the exact same information there on your radio. If it's 2.0. If it's 2.1, it's a little different, but I'm going to show you how to do that. That's coming up. I'm going to show you how to do the telemetry in the 2.1. It's basically the same thing, but it's not going to give you all the same information. You're definitely not going to get all the individual cells with 2.1. It doesn't have that capability, and that's a bummer for me. That's one of the reasons I don't like 2.1. I really like having all my battery voltages right here, so that, you know, after I land, I can just look here and see where all my cells are. Even though I knew it was time to land, you know, there was no danger of crashing. Once I got on the ground, now I can look and see if I've got any of the cells are dying. You can't do that with 2.1. You know. So anyway, that's enough. I'm gonna stop talking. Keep this short. But there it is, guys. You know, $34 or a little more, maybe a little less depending on where you buy it. Shop around, but you know, for just over $30, you can add telemetry to any of your BNF products and be audibly notified what your battery voltages are, so that you never ever take off with a dead battery or fly too long and crash or dead stick in because you ran it out of battery. That'll never ever happen again. So anyway, thanks for watching. Comments at the bottom. If you know of a cheaper way to do it than that, please let me know, because I don't know of a cheaper way to do it. So let me know in the comments below. Like me here on YouTube, like me on Facebook, and we'll catch you on the next review. Talk to you later.